You're now watching Q News. Here are the top stories for this hour. Israeli airstrikes in Gaza have overwhelmed local hospitals. Strikes on homes in Beit Lahia have resulted in numerous casualties at Kamal Adwan Hospital, with local media reporting at least 73 confirmed deaths. An additional 35 fatalities have been reported across Gaza, and rescue efforts are hindered by a two-day communications blackout. The director of Kamal Adwan Hospital has said that dozens remain trapped under rubble in Beit Lahia. The hospital is overwhelmed with continuous strikes, hampering rescue efforts. Due to limited resources, doctors are forced to prioritize treated in time. The Palestinian Foreign Ministry has condemned the international community's failure to stop what it called a war of extermination against Palestinians. The ministry has warned that Israel is using this inaction as a cover to commit further crimes, such as the recent actions in Beit Lahia. It called for an international push to impose an immediate ceasefire and warns against enabling Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to continue his aggression as an alternative to political solutions. Two Palestinians have been killed and others were injured after Israeli airstrikes targeted a home in the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza. Palestinian media outlets have also reported that Israeli forces also demolished residential buildings in the camp. Israeli forces launched 3 airstrikes in northern Gaza, while strikes targeted other areas. Israeli gunboats also shelled homes in the northwest of the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip has been facing a growing risk of famine that could persist through the winter. This is due to severe disruptions in the food supply chain caused by Israel's closure of crossings and the blocking of commercial goods and international aid. According to the World Food Programme and the Food and Agriculture Organization, the latest integrated phase classification report warns of the ongoing risk of famine across the entire Gaza Strip. The Palestinians were arrested by Israeli occupation forces in the West Bank. The detentions were carried out in the past 2 days in several governorates, with several former detainees taken over. Additionally, the operations were accompanied by widespread raids, assaults, threats against detainees and their families, and the destruction of homes. The Israeli military has stated that its air force attacked Hezbollah headquarters and an underground weapons workshop in Beirut. In response, Hezbollah announced it had launched rocket salvos at Israeli forces in the Sidana area of Sheba Farms. At the same time, Israeli media reported at least 70 rockets fired towards Acre and Nahariya from southern Lebanon. Lebanese media has reported renewed Israeli airstrikes on southern Beirut. The Israeli occupation military has conducted 4 airstrikes over the past few hours, with 2 targeting the Hadath area and 2 others striking Harat Harik. Earlier, Israeli forces issued warnings to evacuate buildings in both areas. Sirens have been sounding across northern Israel after 3 projectiles were launched from Lebanon. Israeli media stated that the city of Haifa and nearby areas were affected. Israel has been exchanging fire with Hezbollah since the Israeli war in Gaza erupted last October. In Lebanon, the health ministry has reported that around 2,400 people have been killed, most of them in the last months. The Israeli occupation forces have reported that a barrage of 70 projectiles were fired at northern Israel. The rockets were identified as crossing from Lebanon. They said that most of the projectiles were intercepted by the Israeli air defense system, while some were identified to have fallen in the area. This concludes our top headlines for this hour. Don't forget to follow Qnews on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at QNewsAG to platform watch it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates on Qnews.